She is a class officer involved in several clubs, including Student Council, Key Club, and Pep Club. She also participates as a member of the varsity cheer squad, marching band, and softball team. How do you do cheer and band? It's the same time.
Multitasking.
You go back and forth?
No, you do
during the game
all
you
the
do.
cheers with like the cheer squad, and then I just do the show with the marching band.
Okay.
And then tell
What uniform do you wear?
them. Cheer.
All right, well,
It's
come up
very
here and
easy
tell
to
us all
find.
about your trip, and we're gonna have plenty of questions.
Good afternoon, my name is Bailey Grinnell. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about my experience with the short-term exchange program, and I went to Italy. For those of you who don't know what the short-term exchange program is, it's over the summer. It's a 6-week program, but it can also be 8 weeks. You can either do 3 weeks here and 3 weeks in the other country, or you can do a month. It's a reciprocal program, which means that you're paired with another student who is around your age, and they will come to the US for 3 weeks or a month, depending on what dates you guys decide, and then you will go back with them to their country. It's ages 15 to 18. How I got involved. My mom has been working to bring back the exchange program to the E-Town Rotary, and one night she came home and asked me and my brother, who is a year younger than me, if we would be interested in doing an exchange at all. And at that point it hadn't really been on my mind at all, because I just never really thought about that. I've been so involved in school and sports and everything at that time, it just didn't cross my mind. But as we talked more about it, how it would work, and all the stuff, I began to get more interested, because I was interested in meeting new people, making new friends, seeing new places, and traveling. So Emma Bocacci was the person I was paired with. For some of those who were at the Friday meeting or the Monday meeting that we went to, you may remember her. We came just to say hi while she was here. We were matched a month before the exchange began. I was actually matched with someone else in March, and we had FaceTime, or we did Zoom calls, and we had already gotten to know each other really well. And then about a month before she was supposed to come, she had medical issues, so she wasn't able to participate anymore. So at that point, it was up in the air whether or not I was still going to be able to continue with the program. But then I was told that I had another match with Emma, and so we had a month to get to know each other before she came here to the US. She's from northern Italy. It's about an hour from Lake Garda in a city called Brescia. She was a little bit shy when she got here, but we were able to warm up to each other really quickly and get to know each other. It was 6 weeks of adventures with her, 3 weeks in the US, as I mentioned, and 3 weeks in Italy. And the end result was a lifetime friend. I still talk to her almost every day, and I also talk to her friends, which I'll mention later. So highlights of her trip. We took her to see fireworks for the 4th of July in Marietta. That was really cool for her, because there are some fireworks in Italy, but it's not a whole big show or anything like that, so she was really excited to see that. We took her to see Cheer Live, which is a show on Netflix called Cheer. It's about Navarro College in Texas, and they do a show now where they go around the US and they do different things, like they do stunts, dance, jumps, tumbling, and all the different aspects of cheer. And in Italy they don't have cheer, so for Emma that was really interesting to see all the people get thrown in the air and doing all the tumbling and stuff. She got lots of videos to show her friends. We took a day trip to Philadelphia. We did a hop-on, hop-off bus tour, so we got to see different landmarks. We got to see the Liberty Bell.
Sorry.
Oh, there's another dollar.
I told you to put it on
It's through my laptop.
We got to just go around the city on the bus, and we also got to go see a Chinese Lantern Festival before we headed home for the day. We did a horse, camel, and ostrich race up at the Penn National Raceway. So there was 6 horse races and then a camel and an ostrich race. And believe it or not, there was actually people riding the ostriches and the camels. So that was really cool to see. I know Emma was really surprised to see it. We took a weekend trip to New York. We got to go see Aladdin on Broadway. That was my first time ever seeing a play on Broadway. It was Emma's first time seeing a musical. We got to go see Times Square. We saw it during the day and we also saw it at night, so we got to see it with all the lights. That was really cool. We did the Friends experience. Emma and I are both huge fans of Friends, so for us, that was really cool to see. Like, we watched it all the time when she was here when we were relaxing, and we got to see the different sets and take lots of pictures. So that was really cool. We biked around Central Park, and that was a really interesting adventure because at the point when we got our bikes, we didn't realize how long it was gonna be. It was over 6 miles in the heat with hills, and it was exhausting. We were so tired at the end, but it was cool to see to bike around and see how pretty it was. And we also did Top of the Rock, which is the top of the Rockefeller Center, and that was really cool because you could see the whole city, and it was really pretty to see. We did a trip to the Poconos. We did Boulder Field, which is this huge field. It's all boulders and rocks and stuff that you can walk across. Emma and I did not go the whole way across. We went like halfway and called it quits, sat down for a little bit, because some of the rocks are loose. So as you're going, they will wobble when you walk on them, and I happened to find all of the loose rocks. We did swimming, boating, fishing in the lakes there. We had paddleboard and a kayak, so that was fun for her. And we also did whitewater rafting. It was about a 3 to 4 hour trip in the Lehigh River, and we did rafting down the river, and then we got to go swimming at some points, and we stopped for a lunch break. So that was a lot of fun. The water felt so good when we got to go in. We did swimming in my pool. We had friends and stuff come over to relax. And we also took her to a Lancaster Barnstormers game, which for her that was interesting because they do have baseball in Italy, but it's not a huge sport like it is in the US. So for her that was really interesting to see. We had to explain a lot to her, but it was definitely a good experience for her. So here are some pictures from our trip. In the top left, that was in Philly, they have the I Heart Philly sign, and they also have the love sign. So we took pictures with those. My friend Michaela, me, and Emma at Cheer Live. This was the Friends experience in their living room with the kitchen behind, for those of you who have seen the show. This was at the Chinese Lantern Festival. It was a bunch of hanging flowers. It was really pretty to see. And then they had like LED lights in the background. That was at Boulder Field, so if you can see all the rocks, that's just half of the field, if not even. So it's a lot. That was at the Top of the Rock, where they had different like vinyl stickers, so you could take pictures with those and stuff. But then you could also see the whole city in the background. Aladdin on Broadway, and my sister, brother, Emma, and I on the lake when we were trying to watch the sunset the one night. And then Emma and I up in the Poconos on one of our hikes that we did.
And where's the flowers one again?
That was in Philadelphia at the Chinese Lantern Festival. Highlights of my trip to Italy. Visiting cities, I got to see Brescia, which was Emma's home city, Venice, Verona, Florence, and Rome. In Venice, we walked around, we got to see the St. Mark's Square, we did a gondola ride. And then in the same day, we also went to Verona. I got to see the House of Juliet, which was really cool. And then we saw Florence. We did about 4 hours in Florence. We walked around. We got to see some different places and eat lunch there. And then we drove down to Rome. We did the evening in Rome. We went out to dinner. I had carbonara, which is, it originated in Rome. It's a pasta dish with eggs and bacon. It was really good.
It's the best.
Yes. And then the next day we did a hop-on, hop-off bus tour around Rome. So we went around a few times and to see everything, and then we also got to see the Colosseum and walk around it, which was really cool. And then lots of pizza and gelato. Whenever we went out, I tended to lean more towards pizza because it was so good there. And almost every day I had gelato or some form of ice cream while I was there. We did a week in Puglia, which is in southern Italy. We got to do swimming in the ocean, paddleboarding, a pedal boat with a slide, which is like bicycle pedals that you have to use to pedal the boat out, and then there was a slide on top so we could go into the ocean once we were out far enough. Relaxing. And we also did go-karts. They were really fast, and we did like races with them. We did them twice. That was fun. Swimming in her pool. We both had pools, so that was really nice to cool down there. Meeting her friends and making new friends. I got to meet a lot of her friends, which I was really grateful for. So I also, not only do I talk to Emma, I talk to a lot of her friends too, because I miss them all a lot. Gardaland, which is an amusement park, so we got to do roller coasters and walk around and just have fun. It was Emma and I, and then her brother and 2 of his friends. Lake Garda, we actually walked the whole way down alongside Lake Garda, which was a really pretty view. And then we went back and had lunch, and then we got to go in the lake. And it was really cold, but at the time we didn't care because it was so hot. We were so hot from walking alongside it. We were just enjoying it. We did a high ropes and zip lining course. So it was mostly high ropes, and then at a few points you got to do zip lining. And Emma and I were like the first ones to go, so we were finished first, but it was a lot of fun. And we also went to a cat cafe with her aunt, which was really cool because I had never been to a cat cafe before. But there was 8 cats, and they just walk around and sleep and you eat food while they're there. So some of the pictures. This was in Venice. That was her mom, dad, her brother Luca, Emma, and I. Me with her friends. It was Lodo, Jean, Francesca. Emma's in the back, and her brother Luca. That was right before I left. So I was enjoying my last few minutes with them before I had to head to the airport. This was Emma, Luca, and I on the gondola ride. That was a lot of fun because we got to see a bunch of the buildings, and the waterways went right in between the buildings. So that was cool. That was also with her friends right before I left. The Colosseum, and then this is St. Peter's Square where the Pope does his speeches. This was Emma and I right before I left. Her friend was taking pictures of us unknown to us. And then all her friends that were in Puglia with us, they ate breakfast with me for my last day there. The pizza and the
Trevi
fountain with Emma, which is really pretty. So some differences in Italy. The language was challenging. Going into the trip, I knew no Italian at all besides ciao. So that was really interesting for me. It was definitely a learning curve because they all spoke Italian for the most. They did speak English to me. They didn't just ghost me the whole time. But they mostly spoke Italian, so for me it was trying to pick up on the little things, and having the knowledge of French definitely helped me a little bit, but not a lot. The building styles were definitely different there. They were really pretty. It was really cool to see some of the older buildings because a lot of our buildings are newer here, so seeing the older buildings with all the history was really cool to see, and they're like smoother and different style. The food, the pizza and gelato are much better in Italy. They're fresh, and the pizza that was my favorite it's called margarita, but it's different than our margarita. It's just the equivalent of cheese pizza. I didn't get too fancy with my pizza, but another thing with the food, going back to language differences too, the one day in Puglia, her friends were making lunch, and they were making pasta with hot dogs and corn in it, and they were asking me if I liked corn in my pasta, but at the time they were using the Italian word, which is mice. So they were like, do you like mice in your pasta? My mind immediately went to rodent mice. And I was sitting there, and they could tell it wasn't clicking in my head. They were like, do you like mice in your pasta? I was like, mice? And then they showed me the can of corn, and I was like, oh, yeah, I like mice in my pasta. But for me, that was interesting. I was thinking about the rodent, and I was like, there's no way they put mice in their pasta. The Vespas are a mode of transportation. For the kids, when they're 14, they can get their license to drive Vespa. And then they can't drive till they're 18. But Vespas were definitely a big mode of transportation. I saw a lot of them. And there's also smaller cars. There was no big SUVs there. And there's also a lot of roundabouts in Italy that I noticed, and speed bumps. Eating dinner after 8:30 almost every day. That was a huge adjustment for me the first day, because I was so tired and I just wanted to go to bed, and it was like 8:30 and we still hadn't eaten dinner yet. But I got used to it after a few days. And it's actually really nice, because then you can relax for a while, and then you eat dinner and you relax some more. But that was definitely a huge adjustment, was eating so late in the night. The currency, obviously they use euros in Italy, and we use US dollars. And the kids stay out later, and there's more freedom. When we were in Puglia, it was a closed development type thing, but we were allowed to stay out till whenever we wanted. It was like 2 is where I maxed out, 2 in the morning. But her friends are definitely more night owls than I am. They would stay out till like 3 in the morning if they wanted. They stayed up all night one night to see the shooting stars. I went back and went to bed because I was really tired. These were some of the phrases that I picked up while I was there. The important ones were ciao and grazia, because you say thank you, and whenever you enter a store, you always say ciao to the store owner, whoever's in there. My favorite saying that I learned was "Oh mio Dio." I don't know why, I just like saying it. Or basta, and then I don't think I put it up there, but scusa, which is like excuse me. The first time I said it really funny, just to because it was late at night and I was tired. So every time we went out and met someone and they asked how much Italian I knew, they always told them, ask her to say scusa for you. And I couldn't stop laughing every time they said that before I said it. Some of my favorites in Italy, the pizza, gelato. I got cherry, peach, and strawberry. In that picture, it's actually strawberry and pineapple. But strawberry was definitely my favorite. It had a lot of flavor, and it was really good. Rome, I loved seeing everything in Rome. I thought it was so pretty. And for me, this was my first time going to Italy, so for me, that was really cool to see. Meeting Emma's friends and family, I got to meet a lot of her extended family, her aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, and then I also met a lot of her friends. So that was really cool just to see everyone. Everyone was always so nice to me. They at least attempted to speak English to me. Not everyone's English was very good, but they attempted, and I appreciated that. Gardaland, the Raptor was my favorite roller coaster there, and I just liked seeing all the new roller coasters because I'm so used to Hershey Park, and their styles are a little bit different over there. They had one where it went up and it stopped right before it dropped, and then it just dropped you when it was right. And then the clear ocean water, for me, none of the beaches I've ever been to had clear ocean water, so for me that was really cool. Even when we went out on the paddle boards and we went out really deep, you could still see the bottom, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, you guys are just used to this, you guys have this all the time, and they're like, yeah, pretty much. They're like, today is actually not that clear, and I was like, what are you talking about? I can still see the bottom.
Is that the Mediterranean?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. I really appreciated the opportunity and the sponsorship for myself and the activities that we did. You guys sponsored some of our trips in the U.S. It was a life-changing experience for me. I don't think I'll ever forget the friends or the memories that I made there, and I'm definitely going to go back and see them sometime. I was able to see a lot of places that people dream of. A lot of my friends are so jealous. They're like, I wanted to go see Rome, or I wanted to go see Venice, and all this stuff. They're so jealous of me, but I was just so grateful that I got to go see some of those places. Teaching others about Rotary. On the plane back, I was wearing my Rotary Youth Exchange shirt and had all the clubs from the district on it. And the lady who was sitting next to me, she was a little bit older, she was asking me all the questions about how it worked and like how I was flying by myself and all this stuff. And she was like, they have Rotary in Italy? And I was like, yep, it's a global organization. So teaching people, I didn't have that many people in Italy ask me about it, but on the plane I definitely was able to teach a few people about it. Increased desire to travel. Definitely after this trip, I want to go see more places outside of the country or even in the country just to travel. It was really cool. And I'm hoping to inspire others to take similar opportunities because it was such a great opportunity and I'm so grateful for it. And if others would do the same, I think they would have such a great time. Thank you.
Any questions?
Did Emma have a connection to Rotary?
No, I think her parents had friends who were in Rotary, but I don't think her parents were in Rotary. Yeah.
Okay, so you put all those things that you really liked.
Yeah.
July. I think you like pizza and gelato. I think. So what's one thing you did not like? Like, is there a food you tried or something you did that you didn't like?
She's not a fan of mice in the box.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mice. I don't know. I liked a lot. I was just open to trying a lot of new things, so I liked a lot. I don't know if there was really anything I didn't like. I didn't like the heat. That's what I didn't like.
That's right, calamari.
The one day in Rome, it felt like over 100 degrees. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But once we got down south, it was a little bit cooler. It was still humid, but cooler than up north. Up north, it was definitely very humid and hot all day, every day.
Air conditioning is not very prominent.
No, it's like overnight you get the air conditioning, and then in the morning they turn it off and open up all the doors. That's about all you get. Yeah.
The weird bathrooms?
Yeah, they had one thing in their bathroom. I didn't know what it was. I didn't ask them what it was, but I knew what the toilet was and I knew what the sink was, and that was about it. And when you go there in some public places, like in parking garages and stuff, you have to pay to use the bathroom. So that was definitely interesting for me to see because I'm just used to being able to go into somewhere and use the bathroom, but you have to pay there sometimes. Yeah.
Do you or Emma have any logistical problems traveling?
Not necessarily. When we got to Frankfurt, so when we flew back together, and we had a layover in Frankfurt. It was like an hour and 45 minutes, and people kept telling us the wrong directions, and then we got in the wrong line for customs, and then we had to go to a different place, and we were like running through it, but we made it to our plane. We didn't miss it, but that was definitely stressful. And then on the way back, I found my gate within like 30 minutes of landing with my other plane, and I just got to relax for 3 hours. So it's definitely a huge difference between one experience and another.
So most of your traveling, was it by car or did you take public transportation anywhere? Like when you were in Italy?
Yeah. So when I went into Brescia with Emma, we took the subway in, and then we took a bus back. But it was a lot of driving in car, and then the like the hop on, hop off bus and stuff like that, but mostly driving in the car.
But as somebody who doesn't speak Italian, would you have been able to get around Italy without having her there as your, like, interpreter? Yeah.
It depends where it was. Like in the airport, I was able to find everything because everything has English underneath it. But I don't. And like on the bus, it had English. It would say something in Italian, and then it would say the stop in English and stuff. So there was definitely some English in some places, but I don't know if I would have been able to go the whole trip without Emma.
And I say that because when I was in Japan, going from subway to bus to, you know, whatever, I would not have been able to do it
Yeah,
by myself.
I probably would have got stressed out. I would have been
Oh, I would've
freaking
been
out,
lost.
trying to find someone who could speak English.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
In high school, have you had an opportunity to present this program that you so greatly outlined for us today?
No, I don't know if there's any opportunities to like present that to the school. I mean, I've definitely told a lot of my friends and teachers that I've had, but there's haven't been any opportunities to present.
Aren't the programs still available to kids?
They are, but we haven't coordinated with the school to present them as like an assembly yet.
I would think it would be a great way to introduce what you've just done, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Good job, thank you.
Yes.
You chose top of the rock. Why didn't you go to the top of the Empire State Building or top of the new building? You know, how did you happen to choose top of the rock?
It was cheaper.
Same site.
Yeah, I think the Empire State Building was, it would have been about $100 per person to go to the top.
Wow.
And my husband and I had already been there as well. So, I think top of the rock was like 56 or something like that, or 60, so it was.
Just
almost
for the
half
elevator?
price. What's that?
Just for the elevator, that's all you got?
Correct,
Wow.
yeah, so, it was cool.
So I would suggest you keep this presentation, don't ever get rid of it, because when you become a Rotarian, when you're doing your speech to introduce yourself 10 years from now or whenever, you can bring all this up as how, just like your mother has done, so
Yeah.
don't get rid of this.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
You said how it's like Vespas are very popular for teenagers. Were you
Yeah.
able to ride Vespas at all? Or
No,
like
you
that?
have to have a license, and I think, I don't know what the age is, but I know at a certain age, then you can start taking other people, and her brother was the only one who had his license for it, and I don't think he was at that age yet, so I wasn't able to ride on one, unfortunately. But they looked really cool.
Yeah.